Hola, beautiful people. It is me. It's Miris, and it's Thursday. And looks are really kind of deceiving because it was cold AF outside. But it looks so ding dang gorgeous. So I'm hoping for a gorgeous day. It looks like it might be like in this low 60s. And you know what? Oh, that's better than nothing. I love my spelling. Eneegi. So this is a Thursday energy. And energy. Yeah, energy forecast. And we're using that Sacred Earth deck, the one I call the Grandma's. And here's a little bit more Palo Santo suds just to bring some positivity into the day, into the moment. Okay, yeah, these babies are already, how is it? Please do not throw them on the floor. Okay. So I do that. What does it do? The next one does that. So we're using the Sacred Space deck, or the Sacred Earth deck. And I like it because it's like kind of like talking to the grandmas. There's always a lot of really good vibration, a lot of really insight to and metaphor as well into the message that is delivered. So okay, all right. So it looks like those were the cards, and so we're gonna rock and roll with these. And I kind of have to giggle on that first one. A little bit of a, hey Jack, good morning. A really kind of interesting energy on that. I'm going to do a little wave. It says, wave it, Jack. Okay, I thought I waved. Well, it looks like I keep pressing it, but I don't know what it's going to do. All right, so we have the Sacred Earth deck. It is the Thursday energy. No R in it, right? Forecast. It is the end of the month. This is the last day of March, and I realize, and then tomorrow's April 1st. And April 1st is when I start my 21 days of Reiki. There's a specific reason that I choose April 1st, and a lot of that has to do with my mother passed away on April 1st. And everything that I am, every gift, every talent that I have, seen and unseen, was cultivated by my parents. And so I really like that thought, that energy of honoring my mother on the anniversary of her transitioning. And so I always start my 21 days of Reiki, which is my spiritual body, mind, and spirit detox on April 1st. And this year, I'm going to actually I'm going to put it on video, so it'll be available on Facebook and the YouTube channel. So without further ado, let's take a look at this energy, because it's kind of interesting considering what I was just talking about. Okay, let's turn that over. Okay, so the energy that we're looking at, so the energy that's coming in, it's this absence card, okay? And let's look at a couple of things. I don't know where my little cool, so we're going to use my pen here. All right, take a look at her eyes. How empty are those eyes? Okay, so I'm going to say lights are on, nobody's home, maybe a little bit through there. But there's this sense of emptiness or disconnect in this. So this energy that's coming in, what I'm getting is kind of like a forced disconnect. A forced disconnect. Now, that can mean that we either make a choice to stand back, or our choice is made for us to stand back, okay, or disconnect from that. So that's kind of interesting. We're going to be placed into a situation where we are disconnected, and I'm going to say without emotion. So there's probably not going to be a lot of teardrops in there. But disconnected, we're either going to choose to disconnect, or we are going to be forced in that situation of disconnecting. But regardless, we are going to have an unemotional disconnect. Now, this is a 3-carder, so it's going to read a little bit differently. So what do we gain from this disconnect? We're going to gain some clarity and insight. Whereas this chica here, her eyes are black. They're not closed, they are black. So that's where that disconnect is coming in from. And then after the disconnect, we move into a state or a point of clarity. Now, this is going to be some great discernment. And you're like, Maris, how do you know that? And I'm like, well, first and foremost, this geode right here looks like an amethyst. An amethyst is about insight, clarity, discernment, going within to learn to see. And then we have a whole buku points that are associated with that. So when I'm looking at this card, and then we see like a faint outline of a butterfly within a butterfly. So what I'm looking at here, and she's staring you on dead straight, right? Let's, get a little closer there. She's staring us on dead straight. So the message that we're getting here is that after this disconnect, we are going to be able to gain clarity, discernment, insight, understanding, whatever concept you want to roll with into that relationship, into that situation, in order for us to be able to really kind of work through and process that and move forward. It's really important when you're thinking about moving forward is that you want to do it with some discernment, some insight. What's the consequences of my choices when I move on, when I go on, move on. Okay. All right, so what's the last card that's in here? And that's the formation card. So it is an event coming up in our vibration that we experience a total disconnect. And this can be from people, from places, from things, person, place, or thing, from a noun, right? Whether it's a proper noun or a common noun. But going back into it, and it actually allows us to get back on track, get our vibe back into groove, and allow us to start planting those seeds for our own growth. And I'm getting progression, our own growth and progression. So, yeah, a little bit of an intense energy when you think about that. Change is really freaky. No one really likes change. We anticipate change. Sometimes we're giddy with change, like when we're going to get a new car, or when we're going to buy a new house, or get a new job, something different, But there's always these levels of accountability and responsibility with change. Yeah, sometimes there's some financial responsibility, like when you buy a new house. Sometimes there's an emotional accountability and responsibility, like when you leave one relationship, and you sit back for a little bit and you move into another relationship. What are you bringing from the past into the future that is positive and is a true affirmation of who you are? So this energy that's coming in is kind of giving us the platform, I'm going to use that word, the platform, to be able to clear really and disconnect from really what isn't in our best interest or in our true, authentic vibe. So I hope you enjoyed today's reading. Peace, love, and harmony. I hope to see you very soon, and it would be really kind of groovy to see you on that 21-day journey.